Coach Cano Podcast. Welcome, everyone. I have my good friend Kiki with me today. She's a former high school athlete, currently works at a high school also as a paraprofessional, going through college too. Like, you keep busy, my friend.
I have to stay busy. I have to.
Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for saying yes.
Of course.
We talk all the time at work. We're lucky enough that we work together in the same building. And you have some very interesting stories about your life, your childhood, life perspective. And maybe we could get a little bit of that today, especially on the growing up part.
Yeah.
How was it? Have you always been in here in Lawrence?
Oh, yeah. Born and raised. I did try to, move out of Lawrence, try to get a little bit more experience. I've been to California, I've been to New York, but
Interesting.
I always.
How is Cali? How is living in California?
California, for me, I will say it was an awakening, I guess. It was a culture shock to see how, because, I think TV glamorizes it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But people are going through it too over there, you know what I mean? And I got to see it firsthand. And the area that I lived into, like, it was rough.
Is it the way, because I always imagine in California, right? Everybody who moves to California, I don't know if that's still true today, but back then it was like everybody's trying to make it, and you have this, you're waiting tables, you're working part-times, and trying to make it somehow in music and Hollywood, in movies. Do you get that sense of people of like, I'm chasing after my dream, but I'm doing this to try to survive?
Yeah, actually, for me, there was a moment where I got excited because I was like, oh my gosh, because I love singing. And I was like, oh my gosh, I could like make connections and do this. But it's actually really hard
Right.
because, and I think that's everywhere. Not everybody has how do I say it? Not everyone has good intentions. So it's very easy because when you want something and someone sells it to you like butter, you're like, oh, okay. So sometimes people fall into like a trap.
So the sell pitch is very good.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, big time. And especially in LA, like that's where I was at. And I remember I worked at an airport. And even people that were working at the airport, they were just like there to work so that they can become big. And I think that in bigger cities like that, people want more in life. But yeah, a lot of people are always moving out there too. So I tried that.
Interesting. How long were you there for?
A year.
For a year?
I was there
Oh, yeah, I'm out of here.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. And also moving away from family, that was a little tough on me too because I was basically there with a friend, you know what I mean?
So you left all your family behind.
Yeah. Yeah, but I really wanted something different. Because I know that we've said this before, but sometimes you have to. I think family is great, but sometimes they kind of enclose themselves where you look back and you're like, wait a minute, how come we're not trying to be adventurous? How come we don't want to get to know other communities or learn about different cultures and stuff like that? So for me, that was really big. I wanted to get out of my comfort zone.
Right. That's a very good point.
Yeah.
Honestly, like family can be the one thing that actually stops you from moving forward, right?
Yeah.
It's to some point, like when you try to break a bad family circle, they don't like it at all that they start shaming you for trying to do something different, something better.
Yeah.
And they're the ones trying to pull you back into like, what do you mean? No, you ain't no better than us. That's, wow. I mean, that's taking it to the extreme, right? The other one is just, no, this is safe. This is what we do. No. It's 9 to 5. It works for us. Let's keep it this simple. Don't go over there. That's scary over there.
Yeah.
So they also hold you back in that sense also.
Yeah. And I think that in a lot of ways, um, I love my mommy. I love her. But I do think that also, like, their experiences kind of, that's the way they, como digo,
They were brought up the way.
not just that, but I think that their way of parenting comes from their experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, well, I was raised like this, so I don't want to do that with my kid. But sometimes we don't realize, or adults or parents, they don't realize that you're kind of still doing the same thing.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, yeah.
Wow. That's it. Man, we could spend days talking about
Dissecting all of this. Yeah.
yeah, every little detail. If you really think about it, the older you get, you start realizing some of the traits that you got from your family that are good, that you should hold on to them. But a lot of others, you're like, oh boy, I got to start letting go.
Yeah.
Of, maybe this is not working for me.
Yeah.
Maybe I come from an abusive parenting system.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean I have to be that abusive parent, right?
Exactly.
And rewiring your brain to changing that behavior,
Mm-hmm.
it seems to be very complicated. Normally, we repeat what we went through,
Yeah.
and that applies to every aspect of parenting plus adulthood when you try to navigate the waters on your own.
Yeah.
And I don't know when the change happens. I really don't know. I do know that when you get older, like I had some problems with my dad, and I didn't fully understand what was happening until I hit a certain age
Yeah.
and a certain maturity. More than the age, it's a certain maturity that I started looking back and realizing that, wait a minute, he had it a lot worse than what he gave me and my brothers.
Yeah.
If I'm really being honest. So instead of being angry with them, I turned that into, wait a minute, no, this guy really tried. This guy did his best to make what he experienced better for us.
Yeah.
So, and it took a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you do realize that the perspective changes, because now I'm no longer looking at my dad as somebody who, man, this guy messed it up. No, I'm like, no, wait a minute, man. He had it tough.
Yeah.
He actually made a difference within his tools, within the experience, and within his environment. He made it better for us than what he had.
Yeah.
So now I'm grateful for that.
Yeah.
And then that changed the relationship. Now I have a good relationship with him.
Yeah.
And that's not easy to understand when as an adult. I don't think some of my brothers, especially the younger ones, I don't think they fully see it this way
Yeah.
yet. They still hold on too much to the negative.
Yeah.
And I was lucky enough to understand when Liam was born. Because now I'm a dad myself, so I'm
Yeah.
like, oh man, I really gotta. So that changed my view, and that allowed me to really dig into, okay, how did my dad grow up compared to how he raised us?
Yeah.
And then I came to the conclusion of, nah, man, this guy did the best he could with what he had, and for that I'm thankful, I'm grateful, and I respect him as a man now.
Yeah.
And almost. I said I wasn't gonna do it. Almost. Oh, this is the second time I almost cried on the internet.
Cry.
But yeah, how was your relationship with your parents? You told me a little bit of that, and you don't have to answer if you
Yeah.
don't want to. But maybe just share a little bit of the things that, because you've turned into a positive figure now. In my head, for the little time that I've been knowing you, you are a positive figure. And unfortunately, positive figures don't always come from positive environments. Sometimes they have a very rough path
Yeah.
to being a positive force. And I just want to know, what are the good things that came out of something not so good, maybe?
Oh, that's a really good, question. To so I was, born and raised in Lawrence. I grew up in and out of the hood, like a lot of people would say. Um, but my mom and my dad, they separated very early. My dad had his issues, and you know, the I think for him, he came from Puerto Rico, and I'm not sure if it was ever a culture shock for him, but I'm pretty sure it took a while to adjust. So sometimes I feel like when you're young and you come from a big family and maybe you're not getting all the attention that you need at whatever age you're at or whatever the case may be. Um I don't think, like, looking back and trying to like dissect my dad's life, I don't think he ever had the opportunity to be a kid,
Mm.
so in the sense that he did a lot of things he wasn't supposed to do. He was always in and out of jail. He's still in jail, you know what I mean? But I do think that there's like an inner child in him still that needs a lot of healing. Um, and I'm not gonna lie, I there have been a lot of moments where I held a lot of grudges. I felt some type of way with him. And believe it or not, Cano, like, there are moments I still feel that way
Yeah.
because as an adult, I've also learned that I can forgive, right? But I also have to remember how you once made me feel, you know, because I have to protect
Right.
everything I worked for and protect my heart and my mind, and that's something that I think a lot of kids deal with. I'll tell you right now, like, I've never heard, and where's the wood? Knock, knock.
Knock on wood.
Like, I feel that there are a lot of kids that go through this, but I didn't grow up hearing teachers having this type of lifestyle.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Not seeing their dad or just having, like, for me, it's a little traumatic at a young age having to walk through like these, the metal detectors, having these big cops. You know what I mean?
Right. When
Oh,
every time
dude.
you went to visit.
Yeah. So like it's for me personally, it was a lot. And I always ask my mommy, do I have to go? And I made the decision that I didn't want to do that for a while because I felt like how do I say resentment.
Yes.
Some of that resentment was that, like, how come no one ever asked me how I felt? You get what I mean? So those are some things that molded me into a woman that I am today. Like, I did see a lot growing up. Um, Back in the day, Lawrence was rough and tough, but I think seeing my dad also battle like certain addictions, like, it made me understand that, like, that's not the life I want.
Mm.
Usually you'll see that there are kids that live in the same cycle as their parents. But I'm not gonna say that I'm perfect. I'm not gonna say that when I was younger, I lived a perfect life, but I always thought back about like, to my dad. I'm
Mm.
like, we can do better, Kiara. It doesn't matter how like long it takes. Like, you can do better,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, because the easy path is just to repeat, right? What you're seeing.
exactly,
Oh, really?
exactly, exactly. And I, more than ever, being 36 now, I don't have any kids, but I just feel like I don't want to follow these cycles. I don't want to be okay with like the bare minimum. I don't know if that makes
That
sense.
makes sense.
But like, even in school, like, it was I did the bare minimum because that's what I was taught. You know, work was the priority. In school was like, well, if you can pass with a D or a C, you're fine.
As long as you're passing, you'll
Yeah,
be okay.
but that's not,
So there was
unfortunately,
no expectations
n-
towards,
no,
and no expectations and no demand
no.
of you trying to actually accomplish
Yeah,
something.
the most important thing, and I think this we see this a lot. As long as you respect everybody else, you're fine.
Which is not a bad thing.
It's
but it
great,
should
but
not
it's
be the
like,
only thing.
you know, her grades are not great, but she's so respectful and
Right.
she's the
I'll
like,
I'll take that, I guess.
yep, yeah. But yeah, that's, it was, I've lived and seen a lot,
Yeah.
but
Do you think that's kind of holding you back from trying to raise your own family in a way?
it's so funny. I actually talked about this yesterday. I think there's fear behind it.
Yeah.
I would love a family, but right now I feel that I still have a lot to learn about myself, and it's not even with the intention of being selfish, because again, like, I've lived life,
Yeah.
you know. Um but it's scary because I only know who I am now. I don't know who I would be as a mom. You know what I mean? I don't know if this happens to people, but some people switch up. I've seen people that are married, and then once a kid gets in the picture, everything changes.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not always for, like,
For the better.
exactly. So it concerns me to sometimes bring a child into this world not knowing what that's going to look like for them, or if this is another person existing that we're just adding more trauma to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Again, ideally, I want at least one kid.
Right.
You know what I mean? But as of now, I've put a pause into, like, that mindset. Yeah.
So relationships right now, you're not. Is it scary to get into a relationship coming from a background of a family that was kind of broken down?
Oh, yeah.
If you allow me to say it in that way,
Yeah.
is it scary? Can you pinpoint what's scary about it?
I think what's scary about relationships, it has to be, I know I can't say everything.
Right. Right.
Everything.
Everything's scary. I don't know. You seem nice when we're having coffee, but then I don't know that's gonna look like
It's
afterwards.
just like, I just feel that y- you have to confront yourself.
Right.
You have to confront yourself to maintain a relationship. And you have to be able to be okay that if someone doesn't want you around for the qualities that you do have or don't have, it's okay to let go. But again, that also comes with the fact that you're gonna have to keep on trying
Mm.
unless you've found, like, if someone, you know what I mean? God bless everybody that has found
Yes.
their one. But
And that's the thing, right? Because you honestly, you never know. You never know how it's gonna go.
yeah.
You meet somebody, you actually get to know them because that's super important. But it's still a gamble, and sometimes we get lucky, sometimes we don't. But don't you feel like the fact that you're going through the process? Listen, breakup sucks. Falling for somebody and not working out sucks.
Yeah.
But in a way, I'm a romantic, by the way. In a way, I always think that the one trying, the one falling in love, the one trying, the one going for it, even if it doesn't work out, is the one who living.
Is a what?
Living. You're alive. You're feeling things. Sometimes you feel good. Sometimes you don't feel too good. But you are feeling. Isn't that worth pursuing?
Listen, my old pastor, may he rest in peace, Victor Harvis, he said one time, if you have nothing positive to say, just take a sip.
Just take a sip of coffee. I'll take it.
Only because, like, I just feel like relationships are very complicated.
Very.
Very complicated. And I feel like there's no, like, I don't believe in rules when it comes to that. And I feel like, excuse me, and I feel like once we start putting these rules of all these things, it's like you can get so confused to creating an authentic relationship. I don't know if that makes sense.
In a
Am I making
way,
sense?
it, in a way, yes. I mean, there are some things that you have to set as a base. I wouldn't call them rules. I don't know if I want to call them rules, but you do agree on doing certain things
Mm-hmm.
a certain way for the benefit of the relationship. But it's more natural than you will think once you find the the right partner.
Yeah.
But again, that all comes down to finding the right partner, because once you do have that person, it is no longer if a oh, we gotta set boundaries, we gotta those just come into plays as you go. Hey, no, wait a minute, this is kind of bothering you, and this is kind of important, so
Yeah.
let me try to minimize this, and I'm doing it because I care for you. I'm not doing it because there was a rule set in place. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so all these boundaries and limits, they kind of they do happen organically. The You're not writing down rules and stuff, and the minute you are doing that, that means you just haven't found the right person yet.
Yeah.
At least I believe so. Like if you're telling me that no, if you keep going out to nightclubs, that's pissing me off, so you got to stop going out to nightclubs.
Mm-hmm.
That's a tough sell for me, in the sense of that's not gonna work. That might go wrong.
Yeah.
But if you consciously say, "Wait a minute, what am I doing at a nightclub now? Why am I spending so much time here when I already have somebody that I can chill, hang out with?
Yeah.
I don't need that as much." So you naturally start minimizing that, not because I told you so,
Mm-hmm.
not just because you start understanding that you don't have to go through that anymore.
Yeah.
And then on the other side of that, it's me who I met you at a nightclub. I know you like going to, I know you like going on a ladies' night, dance, and have fun. That's who I met. That's who I like. That's who I accepted.
Mm-hmm.
So it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get mad if you don't put a stop to it, because that's who I met and I accepted that.
Yeah.
So I don't have to set a rule in place.
Mm-hmm.
And then the minute that I see that you start minimizing that, and I'm not gonna argue against it. But it wasn't because I said it. It's because you feel it's the right time to start minimizing that.
Yeah.
Because we have something different now that works. So setting rules, to me, that's, I don't know if it happens that way. I think it's a natural thing that just molds,
Yeah.
because you just found something that, no, you know what? That happiness that I got from the nightclub, now I got it from watching a Netflix series.
But you see,
But
that's how I feel like it should be. It's like whatever life you were living and you find a partner, like y'all should be able to adapt to each other. And like, I mean, I don't know. I am a very romantic person.
yeah.
And I'm such a huge giver that sometimes I feel like it's such a flaw. But
Mm.
I feel like for me, your life becomes my life, right? And I feel like together we're creating something together.
Yeah.
But then when things feel real, and I can speak for myself, when things feel very real, there are moments where you're like, let me grab this emotion really quick because it's the only one I know how to use in situations like
Mm.
that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'll go back to certain core memories and be like, hold on, this feels a little different. So I'm gonna have to grab my walls and build them up again.
Mm.
And that's like, I think that's something I need to work on because I be having big emotions,
Yeah.
you know?
I
So,
mean, it's obviously, listen, it's past trauma. It's very hard to overcome.
oh,
Very hard to
a
overcome.
hundred
And
percent.
I don't even think overcoming it's a thing. I think you just learn how to navigate it. Because overcome means that it's gone, delete. But I think you learn how to navigate the trauma a little better, and you start controlling your emotions a little better. but I don't think shying away from it. I make up a lot of words, by the way. So if you don't understand, yeah, I've noticed on past interviews that I make up a lot of words in my head that make sense. Then when I re-listen to the podcast, I'm like, what the hell did I just say? So if I throw one out there,
You're so funny, bro.
if I throw one out there, I'm like, what was that word again?
You're hilarious.
I lost my train of thought because of that.
Okay, it's okay.
I don't think when you shy away from the opportunity to try a relationship helps to grow out of that inner child that is still knocking on the door constantly, right? It's a lot easier said than done.
Yeah.
But to what point, right, do you have to put in the perspective of, okay, am I good enough for a relationship right now? And that's an honest question.
Yo, I know, but the crazy part is I was gonna mention something about that. I'll be honest. I'm just gonna say it. In most of my relationships, I never felt like I deserved it. But then it's like I also felt like, but I do so much. How come I'm not getting any type of reciprocation? And that's even with family too.
Yeah.
You know, like I feel like this is the only way I always try to explain it. There have been moments where I feel like I'm right here doing jumping jacks or waving my hands just to feel like noticed. But even from like it all starts from like when I was a kid.
Yeah.
You know? And sometimes, and I seen it in my family a lot, that we overgive just so that we can feel some type of like love in return, you know? Yeah. Yeah. And this is why I say like I am who I am.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of unlearning that I'm still working through, you know. Amen to people that feel like they got it together.
Yeah.
Whether that's financially, mentally, physically, whatever the case may be. But this Kiara here, this Kiki, she's still a work in progress. Still a work in progress.
To be fair, we all are. We don't have it together. Whoever says they do, they're lying to you.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe they're just trying to say it into existence.
True. True.
Right? Or, hey, if I say it enough, it's going to become true.
It's going to happen.
But we are all work in progress.
Yeah.
It's not perfect. But I don't have enough expertise on the subject.
It's tough, isn't it?
I don't. Yeah.
But isn't that crazy? Like when you really break it down, at least for me in my life, like those are the things I noticed. So that's why like self-work is the hardest thing that you can do.
Yeah.
It's the hardest thing that you can do because that means that you would have to be honest with yourself.
Yes.
And that is hard for people to accept the good about yourself and to accept the bad as well.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, being vulnerable. That's how you say that?
Yeah.
It's not always, it's never a pleasant feeling. Never.
No.
Never. And I'm a man who struggles with that constantly, right? Because it means people can hurt you. And when people find out that they can hurt you, chances are they will. So you always try to avoid opening that door. You're like, no, wait a minute.
Yeah,
triple lock on this freaking door. Like,
yeah,
no,
it's
never.
scary.
But then we miss out on so much from doing that, though, because the minute you shut the door, you don't just shut it to the people who are trying to maybe willing to hurt you, but you also shut the door down to the people who maybe really genuinely care. And that's when it becomes a problem. because shutting the door means, yeah, I'm protected, but you're protected from the good and the bad.
But you see that right there where you explained, I treat it like I I use that in friendships separately. I use that in relationships like separately and with family separately.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if that's a good or bad thing to do. You know what I'm saying?
I wish I could give you an answer too.
I don't even know if that's good or bad, bro.
Yeah.
But it's just, like, yeah, man.
Do you remember what it felt like when things got very bad at home?
Bro. Oh, yeah. Like childhood wise?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember feeling like scared, anxious, sometimes lost because, adults always try to hide like their struggles,
Right.
but I was always all up in the mix. Everything. But that was part of me trying to be protective. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Always trying to like protect my mom. Um, but yeah, like I feel like I was always on high alert in certain areas, growing up. So yeah.
And do you think, have you felt, if you were to compare that feeling of little Kiara going through a tough situation at home to, adult Kiara going through a relationship that might be failing at home, do you see any similarities on the emotional sense of it?
I think, yeah, that's kind of hard to differentiate because the emotions still feel real, you know? In a lot of cases, I I see how even conversations with my siblings, my mom, my grandma, like it's like moments of like little Kiara's showing up,
Yeah.
you know? And those are things that I try really hard to block because I know I'm not a little girl no more, but there are moments that I'm like an example, I'll tell my brother, like, I love you, and he won't say it back. So I'm like,
That
I
bothers you?
just said I love you because I want to practice love.
Yeah.
And I want the people that I genuinely care about to practice love as well.
Yeah.
And I'm talking more so of like hearing it, speaking it. Because sometimes it's like, I'm about to cry. Some Cano, I'm about to cry.
Just remember, this is going up on YouTube.
Oh my God.
I'm on Spotify now. So whatever you do, it's gonna be up there. Yeah.
I just think that it's like moments like this is where, even as adults, like it's okay for us to hear,
Right.
and I love you, you know? Um, and this is why now I'm gonna switch it to being a teacher. I think this is why working with kids and working in the community of Lawrence for as long as I did, these kids' stories, like, it really does something to you. And I will tell these kids, like, yo, you got this. I love you, bro. Why? Because you don't even know if these kids are hearing it at home.
Right.
And you don't even know if their parents are receiving those words at home either. Like, it's like everyone is going through something, whether it's in silence or whether it's out there. Like, I feel like our words really can help a generation. And I generally like mean that we, I hear people complain so much que this generation this generation that, but how are we showing up for them? What are we telling them? Are we just complaining and not being examples? again, I'm not saying that we have to constantly live our lives in a way that we're being, I don't know, like, I don't know, like, como feeling the pressure of always constantly being good. But it's like these kids, like, they're mentally like dying, spiritually dying, emotionally dying. And we would not even know, because how many of us really check in on them,
Right.
you know? But yeah.
How do we create more safe spaces for them to actually express what's happening, right?
Yeah.
And then how much of that can we as adults take in also, right? Because there's got to be a limit to it. But then you're stuck in between. I want to give them all the support. I want to hear all the stories. I want to be there with the full ride. But then on the other side is, well, I'm also damaged. So what is all this doing to me also in the mental load? And it's just now very overwhelming.
I've been in that, you know what I mean? And the school that I used to work at, I love that place.
Yeah.
Like, I love that place. I still do. Um, but there were moments where I felt like I was carrying this group of kids, like I was like a ride or die,
Yeah.
for this group. But it felt a lot because I always felt like I was the one that they would go to. You know what I mean? I had kids just cry. I had like boys, athletes,
Yeah.
cry because they're like telling me like I don't have this in my life. And it goes back to like what I was telling you, is that like they're not hearing and I love you. They're not hearing this, they're not seeing it either. So yeah, like I've been in that situation where I've had to kind of lose myself to bring someone up. But to go back to what you had mentioned, like I don't have any kids, but I could just imagine that parenthood kind of feels that way, that you kind of put yourself to the side so that you can raise your kids in at any capacity. And that's how I view myself as an educator. Like they're all my kids.
Yeah.
In some way, some shape, form, they're all my kids. And I can't help but to feel like that because of Lawrence. That's just what it is, you know? And I hope I answered your question.
You did.
Okay.
You did. I hope I'm wise enough to understand everything you're telling me today. Because on the mental side of it, right? Not mental, emotional side of it, I'm not the best at it.
But I don't think any of us are. Because again, Cano, this is what I'm saying, that like we're freaking growing every day.
Yeah.
A 56-year-old, they're only 56 for 1 year. Whatever they experienced in that year, guess what? I mean, I'm assuming that this is what humans do.
Right.
We take that and apply it to the next
So
year.
the next year,
And
right?
the next one, like,
Well, sometimes we take a little too long to start applying things we should have.
but yes, but this is what I'm saying, is that my father is a prime example.
Yeah.
It's taken him forever, and even till this day. So again, it goes back to, what are they hearing?
Yeah.
What are they receiving? All of those things, But
Do you have any positive memories from your parents?
My dad, a couple years ago, he's never been one to like, if whatever life decision I'm like, Papi, today I feel like being this. And he'll be like, I'm gonna support you. That's fine. Da, 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 da. But there was one time I was already 23, 24. He called me, "Good morning, my queen."
Oh.
So I was like, and I just started crying over the phone because that's how most of our conversations always happen, was always like through the phone. But it meant a lot to me because it fills in those little gaps that were not filled when I was a kid. So hearing it as a woman, that changes a lot, you know? Does he still have more gaps to fill?
Of course.
Hell yeah. But again, that's not, at this point in time, that's not his job anymore. Because I also have the capacity to fill that in.
Yeah.
But I had to know how to do that, you know, and I'm still learning. But my mom, she actually told me not too long ago, like, I'm proud of you. That right there, I was like, yo, where was this?
Right.
Where was this when I really needed it? But at that moment, I realized, I was like, something woke up in her. Something she saw in me that actually it came out when it was necessary too. You know what I mean? That for me, it was enough.
Right.
Again, I'm one to say that, like, is my cup really full? No. But
Do you find yourself always trying to do things to make them feel proud?
oh yeah,
So
I've
you're,
always lived life like that. Which is hard because you feel like
I don't know if that's actually a good thing.
it's not, because goes back to like, hello, I'm right here,
Right.
you know? But I can't get mad and hold on to that, because my mom, like, she worked 3 jobs just to maintain me and my brother. Um, and we saw a lot. I've seen my mom get skinny from working. I've seen my mom not eat. I've seen her sleep for hours. You know what I mean? Just because, like, here you have this woman having to be mom and dad,
Yeah.
you know? Um, but yeah, you know, my mom had it rough. There'll be moments like my grandma would be the one, because she never, Lela till this day, she don't drive. She don't drive at all. But my grandma will show up. You know how it is, 5:30 afternoon.
Yeah.
It's dark outside. My grandma will literally pick us up if mommy had to work second shift or third shift, and we would stay with her. Like that, I'd give my family. They were all down to help each other. 100%, you know? But wanting to feel like I'm always working for them to be proud of me, that was it's a lot. And the one that I really wanted that from was from my mom.
Your mom.
Yeah.
Do you think you managed to get it done? Or is it a never ending gap?
I think it's a never ending gap, but that's because it's my fault.
Right.
Because, like, I still feel like I have so much more, you know, to prove to myself first, because that's where I'm at. It's for me.
Right.
But also to show, like, my mom, like, mommy, I know I'm going to cry again.
Seems to be the the
Oh my
trending topic of of today.
God, oh my gosh.
I mean, we kind of knew the conversation was gonna be
This is,
a heavy one
oh yeah.
from our last conversation in the library, but it is exactly what I wanna try to. I want to understand, right? I want to understand, and I want that somebody's gonna listen to this
I hope so.
and connect with the story, because it's a very relatable story and it's a very powerful story too. And the message, as sad as it seems to be, is not a negative message.
And that's,
Right? Isn't that crazy?
but that's what I'm saying. I feel like this is not to victimize ourselves.
No.
This is not to, like, have people to be like on a pity, right? None of that. I think it's very healing to speak these things, um, because again, kids are watching. Other people that are going through it are watching. And sometimes we live in a very robotic life. Like nobody is paying attention. We're like this all the time. Like no one has the chance to breathe and express
Mm-hmm.
and just, if you want to cry, here's a tissue. You know what I mean? Like
Writing that down. Have a box of tissues here every time Kiara comes along, because I was not
yo,
prepared
it's
at
because
all.
I'm such a baby when it comes to things like this because it's really where my heart is at. You know, like I I generally, and maybe this is hard to kind of, don't get me wrong, like I love my space.
Yeah.
I love being alone. I love all that. But I also love humanity.
Right.
Like
Right.
I I care about topics like this. I want to help people. I I want, like, let's hug
Right.
or here. You know, like I'm just
Use.
care. I genuinely care.
Before I forget the question, I asked you about you always working towards making your parents proud, right? Is there anything you've done or anything that you do currently right now that makes you proud of yourself?
That's a good question. Um, damn, Cano. Um, I feel that that's so hard to answer because I feel like I haven't had the time to be proud of myself. Um, I think the way that I've always lived my life has always just been on like fight mode.
Yeah.
So it's like if I don't do school, this is the life I'm gonna end up getting. So I need to fight for that. You know, it's
Mm.
not like I'm so proud of myself. It's like, no, I have to do this because I need to take care of myself. You know what I mean? Like, or an opportunity came, I need it because this is how I'm gonna grow. It's I- I don't think I've had the chance to think of something that I can say like I'm proud of.
Can you take a moment now?
Cano.
I think it's important. You are doing so much for everybody else. And I don't think you have given yourself the real chance and opportunity to wait a minute. Um, this is this was challenging, this was important, and I got it done. And good job, Kitty. And I'm pretty sure you have plenty of that in your life. I really do believe it. There's no way in hell that you've been through everything you've been through, became a positive figure to the kids that you're working with, and that you cannot think of something that'll make yourself proud. I'm pretty sure there's something in there. And you should take a minute to really, you know, celebrate that. You really should.
Um,
It's not easy, right?
it's not.
It's not easy, but that doesn't mean it's not important. And we cannot overlook everything that we do for ourselves and everything that we have able to accomplish. As hard as it might be, as difficult as it was, you walked the walk. And you should always, and I never minimize. I learned to celebrate all the little things. My ego is kind of inflated.
Give me some of that vibe.
Right, my ego is a little inflated. Like I'll I'll make a good pass in a soccer game. Proud of that pass. And I had to learn to do that. Obviously, right? You don't take it to the extremes.
Yeah.
Or maybe you do. Maybe in your case, that's what we need. It's just, Maybe in your case, that's exactly what we need. You made yourself a very good sandwich that day. Oh, look at me making this sandwich.
Oh my
Because
God.
why not? It's something that you are doing. And trying to be a person who's always looking for the acceptance of everybody else around you. You've been through that, right? And you're going through that, and you understand how hard, difficult, and somewhat unfulfilling that is.
Oh yeah.
So maybe giving yourself a chance might not be such a bad idea.
I know. I think I try really hard to show myself a little bit of grace. Um, but it does get hard because I feel like there are moments I'm at peace at home. And I'm like, dang, but why do I feel like I gotta like feel this like it should be resting, right? I should rest. But I'm like, why do I feel like I'm not doing that then?
You gotta do
I gotta do
something
something.
always.
Yeah, all the time. All the time. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
And it's so easy to fall for that. So easy to
Wait,
fall
why do
for
you
that.
say it like that?
Because we always have this horrible feeling that you said it earlier, of not being good enough. So it's, if I'm not moving, I'm a loser. If I'm not moving,
Yes, that's exact. I didn't want to say that part, but
that's like my main logo. What a loser!
like that's the thing is that like I feel like if I'm not doing something, like that's what I feel like if I'm not progressing, you know what I mean? And again, that I think that just comes from like certain things that you see growing
Yeah.
up, but
Which is not a bad thing, right? Like, because that feeling, that urge of doing something, it's what help us progress.
mhm.
That's what's helping us achieve something. Like, okay, we have a goal. That spirit is the one that it's allowing you to put in the work to achieve that goal.
Yeah.
But taking it to the extreme and trying to apply it to everything in life, we always end up with the we're not good enough result. And that one cannot be good either. I think put in the work, put in the effort, achieve whatever was manageable within the skill sets of that, and then be proud of all of that. And take a minute to really, how do you say this? Acknowledge
Yeah.
everything that you did manage to complete. Even if the end goal wasn't achieved,
Yeah.
you cannot just base it on the end result. You cannot just go like, oh man, I didn't achieve the goal. Oh man, wait a minute, I didn't land the job. But all the courses that I took to land the job, I got through them, but good job. You know,
Yeah.
all the hours that I put in towards building the project, creating the idea. Oh no, wait a minute, that came out pretty good. And they didn't take my idea, it's F them.
Yeah.
It's my work is still valuable.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we put in self-worth on the opinions of others, and we don't give our opinion enough space, or the space that it actually deserves, right?
Yeah.
And I think we have to start doing more of that. Just
It's not easy, man.
no.
But this is opening up like a lot of doors for me. Yeah, because like this is I don't remember I don't remember the last time someone was so invested in like wanting to get to know someone's story. Not because like there's like any underlayer like intention.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Right.
I don't know, this is like very genuine.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm trying to make you cry to go viral.
Get out of here, bro. Get out. Get out.
I want to go viral on you.
Ya yo llegué 2 veces. Ya. Oh, dime.
No, hey, if anything, I've been the lucky one, right? That I have people courageous enough to sit down and talk to me.
Yeah.
It's a blessing. It really is. And I started this whole little journey because I'm searching for health, emotional health, mental health myself.
Yeah.
So I'm navigating this journey because I also needed to find space where I can let my emotions flow. And then as a bonus added to it, I get to experience a little bit of what life outside of my own little head feels like.
Yeah.
Because I think perspective is important and you have to expand it.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big, we mentioned this before. I'm not a big religious person. I've never had the culture within me, but I am fairly familiar with the word. And the end result of the message, if you want to use the Bible as somehow, of a catalyst, maybe I'm using the word correctly. I believe in the message that people deserve an opportunity. And if you give people an opportunity, they're going to give you an opportunity also. And for as many times that goes wrong, because I'm lucky that I'm able to connect with you and that I'm hoping you're able to connect with me.
Oh, for sure.
That didn't happen until I messed it up with 20 different people first. But the fact that I was always willing to reopen the door to somebody new.
Yeah.
Helped me find the right person to talk to about these things. Because it's not easy, right? They're very intimate stories. They're very intimate feelings.
Yeah.
And not everybody's gonna gravitate towards it. And most people are gonna dismiss it.
Yeah.
And the easy thing to do is, like we said, right? Shut the door. Don't let anybody in.
Yeah.
But then if I would have done that, I would have kept you out of it. If you would have done that, you would have kept me out of it. And then, hey, maybe just finding one person out of 100 made it worth
Yeah.
going through the first 99 who were not so pleasant.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen. I'm a fond believer that even if it's just one person that gets touched by something that is life changing, that's enough.
Right.
Like it's like I won't get into too much detail because I don't like to over spiritualize things when it's not needed. But I do believe that if it's just one person that gets touched, imagine that one person, it's a domino effect.
Yeah.
That one person has a life-changing experience. Guess what? They're gonna want to spread that, and that only grows more and more. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like these topics, everything that you're doing, like it's gonna touch people even more. Like for real. I don't think you understand like how deep this is. In a good way.
A good way.
In a good way.
Oh.
Like
Well,
you're making it so versatile where it's like you can touch the life of an athlete, you can touch the life of an educator, you can touch the life of a father, of a mother, of you know what I mean? Like that's what you're doing.
right. Yeah, I'm bringing all my little worlds into one, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you again before I forget the question. I don't prepare any of these questions, by the way. I make them up on the spot, so sometimes they don't come out so good.
Oh, you're good.
And my English is not always very good looking. So
Ay, por favor, yo te estoy entendiendo, dime. Ojo, ojo.
what part has religion played in your life?
I think, you know, that's a religion definitely has grounded me. I grew up Pentecostal, like another form of Christianity. Back in the day it was pretty strict. You know what I mean? so religion back in the day was a little heavy. But I think as I've gotten older and I've also had to unlearn certain practices even within my own belief, it it does help me. It does help me stay grounded because it helps me to remember, like, all right, Kiara, you weren't so strong today, but tomorrow's another day. And there's someone to thank, even the fact that you're waking up. You know what I mean? Like for me, that's what grounds me, is having to thank baby Jesus up
Right.
above. Like that does keep me grounded. I know some people, they feel better not having anything to kind of like call on to. But for me, I need that.
Yeah.
I need that for my heart, you know? But again, I'm not like, I don't, my mind is not stuck on old traditions and old ways of being. No, like, yeah.
Yeah, I think people sometimes overthink, and I might be horribly wrong with this take, but I do think people, they forget the actual message, right? On a very vague opinion. Let's say I'm not religious, but I like reading books.
Yeah.
And the reason we read books is, right, to try to learn something from them, right?
Yeah.
Regardless if you believe or not in God, in Jesus Christ, if you read the Bible,
Yeah.
and you really read the Bible with a mind of, okay, what am I trying to learn here? What is this? Because
Like, what's the purpose of
it's
it?
a very good book, regardless if you believe or not.
Yeah.
It's like reading the Bible is one of the most important things a human being can do. And I'm being very honest with this. And coming from I don't consider myself a religious person. But you read the Bible, and it's impossible for you not to learn so many good things from it.
Yeah.
Right? So just based on a logical perspective, grab the message that you can apply to in life, that are going to make your life better, that are going to make the experience of the people around you better. And criticizing everything else makes zero sense. Like you don't grab a book to read it and then to use it against people, right? That is so not productive at all.
Yeah.
Like that makes zero sense, right? In my head. So to me, reading the Bible, listening to the messages, and then learning what the message is trying to tell me, and it is a guide on how do you live your life on a more peaceful way.
Yeah.
Because I think people misunderstand. Oh, this is like a book that'll make my life happy. Happiness might be overrated to me. Another hot take.
But if you only know that, like, the Bible doesn't only talk about happy experiences, you
Right.
know what I mean? It also digs deep into depression,
Yes.
anxiety, um, you know, unaliving yourself, like moments like that, sickness. I- it's not just like butterflies
Right.
and flowers. No, like it can get pretty like hardcore.
It really does.
And for me at least, there's a fine line of using the word to inspire and using the word to destroy, you know? And I think that that's something that I've never been okay with, and I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm not one of these people that, like, I'm gonna use it to create trauma in you. And I say it because there's religious trauma out
Right.
there.
Yeah, there really
Nobody
is.
talks about it, but it's true.
Yeah.
And, the way I see it is it's like a teacher. A teacher already knows the IEP students, their 504s or whatever the case. We have to know our students, right? We have to know how we're giving them an assignment. We have to know what students need work to be modified, right? So when you start treating people in that way, like, you know what? This person is able to handle a softer message. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to tailor it to their understanding.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they have more endurance, right, up here and here, then we can tweak it a little bit. It's like giving a kid the the caterpillar book, and then guess what? Eventually, you give them like another caterpillar book, but with more pages in it.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So why? Because they're at that capacity
Mhm.
now where they're able to look at more words, able to understand it more and visualize it.
Mm.
So
And sometimes we wanna be able to understand the world. We don't even understand our own little room.
but at all, and those are things that I think every human being is navigating,
Yeah.
even myself. But yeah.
Now it's. Do you see any? Do I want to say hope? I don't know if I want to say hope.
Hope is such a
How do you see the future for you moving forward? What are the things that you're doing to maybe try to change some of the things that you're still struggling with, or are you haven't put a lot of thought into that, to what the future might bring to you?
um I've been thinking about that a lot more often, and so um I mean, this is gonna sound so basic, but I think my education
Right.
is such a fuel for me that right now, that's the only future I see for myself is continuing school because I feel like it's gonna open the doors that I need to see my life a little more complete. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I feel like that's been one of my biggest hurdles. Um, so I feel like right now my future is school and just graduating.
Right.
Like that, I think, well, is when I say like I'm proud.
Ooh, okay. I think you should still say it
Oh no, like
with a couple of things that already happened, and then be very proud of that moment when it comes to it.
yeah,
But I really enjoyed this. I'm very happy we were able to sit down and have this conversation. Um, Listen, if anything, having the courage to share some of these intimate stories with a stranger, because we just met. I'm still a stranger, right?
mm,
After today, hopefully that gap closed a little more.
yeah,
Um, but it gives me hope in the sense of you're taking the steps to the right direction to self healing,
yeah,
and you're a very strong person. And I said it before. You have turned a lot of negative situations to mold you into a positive force within your community, and for that, I thank you.
thank you.
And I don't know. I think we might close it here.
Okay.
We were here for over an hour,
Oh,
believe it
for
or not.
real? Oh
Yeah.
wow. Okay. Okay. All right.
But I really want to thank you.
Thank
And
you.
is there anything you might want to say to close? I always ask
Okay.
for the end, close with something positive that maybe a young teenager, young adult can take away with them.
Okay. I think if there's anything I would close this with is don't don't fall into the belief that you have to take care of cycles that don't serve you.
Mm,
Sometimes we want to take care of um whether it's habits, mindsets, lifestyles. Sometimes we don't have to carry that.
Right.
you know, and it's okay to let go at whatever stage you are in life and just love yourself a little more when everything feels like it's dark. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Got to start putting our energy where it actually
Yeah.
is necessary, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, thank you very much.
Thank you,
I
God.
really appreciate this.
Same.
If you made it this far, don't forget to subscribe, comment, share. If there's anything that resonated with you, then please feel free to leave it in the comments. We'll see you in the next time.